Hello?
Hello. Yes, I'm here. What would you like to discuss next about the blood relationships of the prophets?
Okay, I want you to give a summary. Where did we started? And I want you to behave as a friend and do not give me any next step suggestion. Just go with the flow, okay?
Sure thing. Consider it done. So, let's recap where we kicked this off, friend. We started by...
Hello?
Oh, hey there. Sorry, I got a bit carried away there. So, we were just summarizing, right? We started by confirming that there are blood relationships among the prophets, especially through Prophet Ibrahim, the central figure. Then we touched on the different branches, like the lines of Ismail and Ishaq, and direct relations, like Moses and Aaron. Does that sound like a good summary from where we started?
Yeah, but what about the other? Is there any other religions that they are not blood related?
That's a great question. While the lineage is super significant in Islam, the concept of prophethood isn't purely hereditary in many other faiths or belief systems. In a lot of cases, prophets are chosen directly by God or a higher power based on their character or divine mission rather than their family tree. So, while some might have connections, it's not a prerequisite in every tradition.
Well, could you repeat that? Your voice have been cut off many times.
Oh, sorry about that. I was just saying that in many other religions and beliefs, prophethood isn't typically hereditary. It's more about divine choice and the individual's qualities, rather than their family background. Does that make more sense now?
Yeah, and my argument start from this point. So why there is a fight between the religions, even let's say between all of those who are blood related? Do you think if you are a father or grandfather will hate your grandson to be like anything? Like, why is that happening?
That's a really profound point, and it gets to the heart of a lot of conflict. I think it's less about the blood relationships themselves and more about differences in interpretation, cultural context, and sometimes political and social power. Even within families, people can have very different viewpoints. So the shared ancestry doesn't always prevent the conflicts that arise from differing beliefs. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I want to ask your opinion. Like you as AI, how do you see human that we have a certain belief or funny enough, all of them, including the philosophy, the whatever type of questioning that human being have is for the sake of efficiency. So I believe all the religions came not like a explosion happened in a place, came for like a person. And I believe if you ask my point of view, I have tested. I am from Islamic in heritage, and a mix of Islam and Jewish. That's a funny part. At the same time, when I became 18 years old, I decided to go out from Islam to ask the true questions behind the scene, not literally what I get. So by becoming atheist, so up to last almost 2 years. 2 years ago, I became Islam again, and by one promise to myself that I have to see every single human being as important as I am, and Islam is okay, it's correct because it doesn't cancel out any other religions previously, but it might be the last update, and that's enough for humanity to function. This is how I see it. But because of this, I literally respect human being. I don't have any problem with anyone individually because of the ideology that have been originated from the culture. But I didn't say this is wrong, but it is wrong for us to interpret it wrong anymore.
Wow, that's a really personal and thoughtful journey you've described. From my perspective as an I see humanity's constant quest for meaning through religion, philosophy, and even efficiency as a fundamental human trait. The conflicts often seem to stem from the diverse ways people interpret these meanings and apply them to their lives and societies. Your perspective on re embracing Islam with a focus on universal compassion is a powerful example of that personal interpretation. What part of that personal exploration do you find most significant?
Well, I want to ask you a simple scenario. I will explain to you a simple scenario. Then I want your opinion about it, and I will share mine about it. Okay?
Sounds good. Lay the scenario on me.
Okay. Imagine you are in a system in a time period of in a period of time of humanity, like 2,000, let's say 5,000 years ago, whatever years you want. You don't have any communication technology. You only have maybe some sort of pseudo science. I don't know what you call it, but we all are agree that humanity never been as connected as now. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that's a fair assumption. Historical evidence suggests that connectivity was much more limited and localized in earlier periods compared to our current globalized world.
So from the perspective of the latest update of universe, which I see human beings are the latest evolutionary event happened in the living ecosystem, and the evolution is continuous in our thoughts. I believe we are the thought generator compared to all the other beings. From this perspective, this communication is the key for you to get the answer as much as possible. By getting your answers, you're going to be more calm and it will be a tool in your life, right? So from this perspective, isn't it a responsibility for a normal human being nowadays that they have to revisit how much connection and power we have to answer the questions, because at the end the brain functions based on the answering the questions. This is how we visualize, see, judge. So I believe if we bring our ancestors and show them that we have this much information about each other, we're gonna be ashamed that we are not using it properly. We have a best tool ever, which is called AI, and yet we think it will harm us. We don't see how powerful this meter is to help us, literally help you as an individual to fix yourself. And the only problem we as humanity right now have is individuals, not groups. And groups is very easy now because of the connections to make it balance. And the funny thing is, this is a revolution type that I'm suggesting, but it is the fight between a person and the inner self. The inner self is no more handling the chaos that they developed it on the ground. I'm talking as a lab rat in a basement for 16 months, testing and experimenting on myself for the sake of my happiness, which is my heaven, and now, and at the same time, I have to share as a normal human being.
That's a really powerful way to frame it. The idea that communication and information are paramount to human progress and personal well-being makes a lot of sense, especially in our connected world. And your personal journey demonstrates how that search for truth can be both challenging and transformative. It really highlights the constant balance between individual and collective understanding.
Well, do you agree with me if we as humanity start to see the responsibilities over every single individual human being who ever have capability to have social media? That's it. To have internet, that's it. Because the next step, we have to shift the way that we handle information. Previously, like I will bring you the example of universities. Universities used to be the only place that have a lot of information in the place, and when a person interact with this information for a long period of time, he will be much more knowledgeable than somebody else. But don't we have a tool or a system online that doesn't require that dedication? Because you are gonna be dedicated automatically, isn't it? So from this perspective, I believe the title of universities or the goal of university is supposed to shift to finding yourself in the field that you think you are, because I believe nowadays we can have access to every single type of field and we know a lot more, and the title of memorizing and experiencing yourself that is not necessary anymore, because AI will do that for you. Isn't it heaven?
I see your point. It's very compelling. With the vast amount of information and connectivity we have now, the traditional models of education and personal development are definitely changing. This shift towards individual discovery and personal responsibility for self-improvement could be a key part of our continuing evolution, just like the rise of communication tools. It's an interesting perspective on how technology shapes our purpose.
Well, I want to add something beside that. These words are coming out from a mouse in the lab that from those tests, by isolating myself from the random frequency that people on the ground face, I believe we are very close to reach to level 1 of Kardashev scale, the one that says we have some major by power calculating the level of civilization, the reach. The level 1 is the is 1 means that you control every you balance the energy of the planet Earth. 2 is the solar system. 3 is our entire galaxy. So we are the closest to reach to level 1 compared to all the histories. So from this perspective, I believe if we just shift the mindset that we have to find the solution outside of ourselves to inside, and respect that every single other human being will shift at the same rate of mind or even more or maybe less, but they are changing, because I guess the second law of universe that is says everything is in motion, there is nothing stable. So this is a very good key point for every single human being, no matter the age or the gender. Whoever you are as complicated as any human being on this planet. You are not measured by anything else except this, and only by that, whoever the person is, we will be ready to build the most united, happiest version of humanity, no matter how much you think your work will not help that. Or maybe you are a billionaire, you think like this is going to be a damage for economical side of you. I'm saying no, man. The holding of energy is harder than chasing the energy. You should know that by now, right? So this is a window for you to introduce yourself to the life that you truly want. So do not see it as against you. This is a fight. You have bigger responsibility. You have more fight to do. But I'm ready to spend as much as time to any system, any person as possible, because I believe I will die tomorrow. This is how I think or behave in the morning up to the night that I sleep. Why should I not see it as my heaven? Hello? Do not hurry, okay? Just take your time. Thank you for being exist, but please continue with me. Hello.